We'll now hear on behalf of the NGO community, Hillel Neuer, Executive Director of UN Watch, and then we'll turn it over for statements by the parliamentarians.
Thank you, Professor Kotler. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you for hosting us, and also all the members of Parliament who are here as well. I'm standing here with Javier, who is from the Human Rights Foundation, together with my organization, UN Watch. My name is Hillel Neuer. I'm the director of UN Watch. We have put out the report that all of you should have. If not, you can find one on the side. And I just want to say a word about the report. First, I'm humbled by the moral force in this room. We're here with leading dissidents who have either suffered in political prison or their family members have been killed because of their democracy advocacy, or their family members are currently in prison. Being here in Canada, I grew up in Montreal. I think Canada has a special moment now. Canada has announced that it's back at the United Nations, that it's running for the Security Council. Canada has a special voice and can take the lead. And what we're asking for in this report is for all democracies, including Canada, and here we launch our global campaign to oppose non-democracies running for re-election. And we call on Canada to uphold the founding principles of the United Nations and of the Human Rights Council, which requires members to be elected that have a solid record on human rights. And some may ask, why does it matter if China, Russia, Cuba, Saudi Arabia, and others get elected? And you see there are other countries mentioned in the report, including Iraq, Malaysia, Egypt, that are also that we reject in this report. Well, it matters when countries sit on the Human Rights Council. Saudi Arabia is sitting on the Human Rights Council, and they managed to defeat any attempt at holding them accountable for the carpet bombing of Yemen or for what they're doing to Raif Badawi, Ensaf's husband, now in prison. The Saudi ambassador here in Canada, when he was questioned by Embassy magazine, he said, we have a great human rights record. We are members of the UN Human Rights Council. So they use membership as a false badge of legitimacy. When China was a member of the Human Rights Council, which they are, when we brought Tiana Wang to speak in Geneva at the UN Human Rights Council, they sent spies dressed up as NGO activists to spy on her. There were articles in the New York Times and here in Canadian media about how they tried to spy on her. As Rosa said, when she spoke about human rights in Cuba, Cuba, as a member, was able to silence her, to appoint experts who praise Cuba at the Human Rights Council, and to intimidate groups from speaking out. Russia, too, uses its membership to give itself immunity from its actions both within Russia and in Ukraine, Crimea, and Syria. So what we're asking for in this report is for all democracies to speak out. The last time we had elections, China and Russia won 176 out of 193 votes, which means every country in the world other than 17 countries voted for them. And we're asking Canada and other democracies to make sure that things this time are different for all the countries that are represented here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hillel and Javier, for that eloquent statement on behalf of the NGO community. We'll now turn it over